Hi everybody, it's LFC.Liverpool now. It's all about the Liverpool. It's all about the Reds. Everything is about the Reds tonight. We're doing a more or less the post-match review from last night, 24 hours ago. Also, a preview of Sunday's match against Brighton. So that should be fun. Going to ask them for their predictive scores. Also, I'm going to ask them who they'd like to play against Brighton. So I'm just waiting for my. I'm sorry if you see me wincing. I'm in so much pain on my chest because I've got this thing um, on my chest, and I'm getting it seen to on Monday. Monday, yes. And I just can't wait to get it done, to be honest. It's absolutely killing me. So if you see me wincing, it's because like what I'm wearing and be rubbing against it. And it's so painful. It really is. Anyway, I'm just waiting for my guests. And I've got one on now right away. I've got Jay Kismet. You never walk alone. And there he is. I'm going to bring him straight up.
Hello there, Frank.
Hello there. How are you? Are you okay?
I'm fine, thanks.
Oh, that's good.
I hope you get well soon, bro. You've had that pain a while now, yeah?
Yeah, it's an abscess actually, and it's all right to say, people, but it's bust on me, and it's the pain is excruciating, So this is the way it is,
Yeah.
unfortunately, GA. This is the way it is. I'm waiting for the vase of flowers to come on because anyway, just waiting for him to come on, waiting for Keith Taylor. So it should be a good discussion that we're going to have. Did you watch last night's match, by the way, Jay?
Yeah, it was a nice little win there, 2-0.
Yeah, it wasn't really, it wasn't full flowing.
Yeah.
The game itself to me, it reminded me of a practice match. I,
Yeah.
I think Liverpool went out. In all honesty, I think Liverpool went out as though we're going to stuff these, we're going to roll these over. And
Mhm.
they got it like a bit of a shock the way they played. And anyway, they just went at it. We got the job done. 2-0 win, clean sheet. I predicted a 4-0 win, actually. A 4-0 win. But we'll be discussing that more when the lads come on, if you know what I mean. So,
Yeah. I
and
think I think Klopp must have told. Yeah.
yeah, go on. What was you saying?
I think Klopp must have told them, lads. We've got Brighton on Sunday. They're staying second, third gear, nothing higher.
Yeah, I agree. I agree there. I totally agree. And don't forget that it's the first time, I don't know, in years and years and years that Union SG have been playing. They finished third in the league, at the top of their league now, I think. I think they're actually top
Yeah,
of their league. They finished there, I don't know, third last year. So they're not a bad side. And what did you think when you first seen McAllister's brother? He's totally different,
yeah,
isn't he? Swarthy and black hair.
yeah. He's like proper South American, like black
Yeah,
hair, a bit of a suntan as well.
yeah, proper Argentinian. Yeah,
Yeah, proper Argentinian. But I think, and his dad was in the stands as well. I think with the rest, I think
yeah,
his other brother was there as well.
yeah, he was. And he plays alongside Maradona, actually. His
Yeah,
dad.
back in the days.
So if you could imagine his dad in the stand there, which he was showing on the TV, he must have been very, very proud, especially when
Mhm.
Alexis came on, for us
Yeah.
in the second half. He must have been a very, very proud man.
Yeah. Two sons playing at Anfield on a European game.
Yeah,
Got to be
yeah.
proud.
just want to say hello to these lovely people. Gary Richards, tally-o, Mr. Carlyle. Tally-o, great English saying that. Tally-o, tally-o, Gary, hope you're well. And Taz Reynolds, all right, Frank. All right, Taz, I hope you're well, mate. Hope you're well. And as I said, I'm just waiting for a couple of more lads to come on. I know Keith Taylor's just messaged that he'll be on in a few minutes' time, 15 minutes' time. So we'll be chatting to him. And I don't know where Vasa Flowers has gone. He's been told a message. I don't know where he's gone. So,
what did you think of? What did you think of Gravenberch yesterday?
I thought he was my man of the match, actually. But a very close was Kwanzaa. He's great, that young kid. He's a brilliant player, him. And he's only going to get a lot stronger the more games he plays. The more games he plays, the more I'm impressed with him, to be honest, Jay.
Yeah, every game gets better. Yeah.
It was your man.
Kwanzaa, like, out of the two, Kwanzaa or Gravenberch?
Yeah.
Kwanzaa, every game is just like very steady, and I watch how he plays. I see how he takes his time before he even passes it. He's very calm and collective. I love it.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And as I said, every time I see him, Jay, I'm highly impressed with him. I'm highly impressed. So, that's a good thing. It saved us 50 to 60 million. It really has on a centre-back with this young lad coming in. And as I said, he's only going to get stronger. He's only going to get stronger, this lad, as each game goes on and each season, by the way, because he's only 20 years of age. But when you look at the average age now at the back and in midfield, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. That's what I think. Anyway, Taz Reynolds says, what about Jamie? Do you mean Jamie Phillips, Taz? I'm not quite so sure what you mean there. Just don't know what you mean. Just let me know. Kwanzaa as a star says, Taz Reynolds. Kwanzaa as a star. Which is, spot on. So everybody's saying it, no matter how you look. Pundits are saying it. The ordinary fans like ourselves are saying it. And he's going to be a star. Was you surprised last night that young Joe didn't come on?
Yeah, I was a bit surprised he didn't replace Salah. But I think what it is with Klopp, he's the type of guy, if your attitude isn't right, he isn't going to play you.
Yeah.
So maybe, like the younger players, like he went to Leipzig, Carlyle.
Yeah.
Straight away, he was shipped off. He's like, okay. I think because he was getting a bit down, he weren't getting game time.
Yeah.
And you know what, like the younger generations are like, they're going to get a bit, the boss ain't playing me, I'm going to get games in the future and stuff, so they might sulk. But I think Klopp wants to see a bit of fight and respect in the player,
You know what? I think you're right there. I think you're right. It's a good shout, that, actually. Hang on a minute. I'm sorry about this, people, because it does say Jamie Phillips. There's nothing wrong with him, is there? I just don't know. I don't know what you mean by it, Taz. I really don't know. I'd love Jamie to come on because I always promote him. Like, I always promote these lads. Michael Dean and his small business, HSO AB at Scarf or the Badge, because he has some great stuff, great quality stuff. And he's only a small business, him and his wife run. And I always promote as well Jamie Phillips, because Jamie is one of the nicest one of the nicest lads. What I'll do, thank you, Daz, thank you. I'll get hold of him. I will get him on. I will. I'll just get hold of Jason and just text him because I thought he might have been doing a show tonight himself, if you know what I mean. So thank you for letting me know. I'm useless at texting, absolutely dreadful. Daz, I don't know. Like Jamie said, my producer says, Jason Pennington, he says he hasn't got a link for him, and it's someone else who gets him on through his link. So if you can do it for me, Daz, that'll be fantastic. Okay, thank you, Daz. If you can do that for me, please. Thank you so much. Thank you. So let's hope that we have him on. I don't know where. I haven't a clue where the other fella is, to be honest. I just haven't a clue where Vase of Flowers has gone. I just don't know. Hang on, what does he say here? Frank, there's only one old link there, Frank, and I went on it, but no joy. I may need a fresh link to join the show. Okay. Well, I think Jason will sort that out for you. Yeah, he's just sent you a link again. Lee. He sent you a link.
Yeah, Jason sent me a link about 15 minutes ago. So
yeah. Let's get back to what our lads are saying. I think Klopp wanted to play the forwards he took off on Saturday. Yeah, that's a good shout as well, Charlie. And it's only what you more or less said. Oh, brilliant. Daz has sent him a link. Thanks a lot, Daz. You're a good man. Thank you. Charlie Wood says, watch Jamie's rant from the other day. So passionate. Absolutely. That's why I love Jamie Phillips. He's a really nice fella. And he's going through a bad time like ourselves. He was going with his little daughter, Penny, who had this. It was an 8-hour operation. It was shocking. To think that a parent has to sit and wait. And he went off there. And then he came back on to say everything was all right with the child. Paul Bay, good evening, Frank. Last night about getting a job done, and they did. Surprise. He didn't give Doak any minutes, though. Better to play him in front of a home crowd. Yeah. It did surprise me, actually, to be honest, Paul. It did surprise me that young Doak never got a chance, because I predicted or hoped that he would play against them. Unless he's got a niddle or something, I just don't know. He could have a little niggle there. There's Captain Sal. Look at this. This is fantastic. Even in Captain Sal. Look at that. He's joined us. Absolutely brilliant. And I'm just saying, Captain, that we hope to have Jamie Phillips on in a moment. We've already got Jay Kismet. We're waiting for Vase of Flowers. Don't know where he's got to. He's been sent links out. So let's hope that everything is all right, for this particular post-match and pre-match show, podcast, whatever you want to call it. Let's just hope that these lads come on, because it's only Jake, isn't it? Jake Kismet, who's on at the moment with myself. And I don't really want to go into detail, because I want the other lads to join in and give their expert opinion about last night. I'm not talking about VAR the other day. I've been through that, because people saying that we were robbed against Spurs. What I say, we were cheated. We were cheated with that. It's absolutely ridiculous. Neil Broderick, it was just a job done for me. Keep the troops fit for Sunday. Absolutely. And I think that we'll go all out against Brighton, to be honest, because we're not having none of that nonsense as we did against Spurs. We dominated the game. And as I said, that I use the terminology cheated. I really do. You've only got to look at from the beginning of the season. The beginning of the season. And all of a sudden we've had 4 players sent off. Think about that. 4 players. What do you think about that anyway? Jay?
Yeah, I think that whole day it was a disaster. For me, one of the most important things is when the guy got fouled by Jota the first time. He already had a yellow card, and he was waving a yellow card, so he should have got a second yellow card and would have got sent off. So Jota wouldn't have got sent off, and I think we would have won that game then. That was for me. Yeah. Too many mistakes, and when they always say, "Oh, always the victim" and stuff like this. Facts are facts, We've seen it with our own 2 eyes, and even like the commentators, Man United fans were saying, "Yo, that's onside."
Yeah.
And I don't know what they're up to, these guys, the referees and stuff. But the thing is, a replay will never happen.
No. I didn't even think that anyway. After the game, I never ever thought about a replay or anything like that. But what should have happened? This is just, I said I didn't want to go on about it, but I will do this time. What should have happened? Excuse me. That killed me though. What they should have done, they should have stopped the game. They should have stopped the game and said, that's it. That's it. Go back, because they knew that they made a mistake. One pundit suggested that they would have gone over England, brought the 2 managers together and said, we've made a dreadful mistake. It was a goal. So what we're going to do, just allow Diaz to run with the ball and kick it in the empty net, and we'll start all over again. That's what was one pundit says, and I agree with that actually. But as I said, I'm not going to go on about it, because nothing's going to happen. Only we're going to get ridiculed, every Liverpool supporter. So that's the way it is, unfortunately. Captain Cell says, I'm very confident of a win against Brighton. And Daz said, I told Jamie you are live on Twitter, Frank. Thank you, Daz. You're a great... Blimey. I don't know about this. The league has lost all integrity as far as I'm concerned, says Captain Cell. Of course it has. Absolutely, totally agree with you. And Vaza Flowers saying, there's still no new email to join the show. The old one doesn't work now. Listen, a message is being sent, Vaz. Check your email, check your junk mail. May have gone there. That's what Jason says. He's using my name there because he's got no thing. So just check your email, please. Your junk it might have gone through there, and I hope to see it in a few minutes' time. So what, Captain? As I said, Captain Sal says the league has lost all integrity as far as I'm concerned. Would you agree with that, actually, Jay?
Yeah, since for years, it's just the way football's going. Players getting overpaid, not performing, the cost of the football shirts, and step by step, they just ruined the game of football. And I've been saying for years, at least 15, 20 years, the way they've ruined the music and film industry, football is
Yeah,
next on the list. And look, right in front of our eyes, even last Saturday, it was right in front of our eyes. You seen the slow destruction of football. I've been saying
yeah,
that for years, and people don't really understand what I'm trying to explain to them. It's like whatever humans love, for some reason, it gets destroyed.
well, this is
The
it, isn't
music,
it? You
yeah,
know, see, we've always been saying about VAR, and we've always been a little biased because I always remember Mane, and I don't know what, I don't know how he was offside at one point, and the next it was given offside, and we could have won the league that season, by the way. And you know, if that goal would have stood, we would have won the league when we finished second, and that's the problem. So where we biased or does we have a grievance against VAR from that time. But other teams, other supporters have got grievances against VAR as well. But I think now that these will be going to double check every game. Double check. What do you think?
I was saying like yesterday's game. I was looking at the referee, how he was giving decisions and stuff, and I was thinking he was still giving decisions against us. Is he trying
Yeah,
to show the world, look, I'm not going to side with Liverpool and their problems last week. I'm going to be a proper strict referee and stuff. So it's all for me. It's a bit of a joke,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know. I think a point apiece if they had the what's the word? If they had the pulls to say, you know what, guys, we made a mistake last week. But I think Tottenham and their fans will not be happy with taking a point. That's what the problem. That's where the problem
no,
lies.
that's the bottom line. That is
Yeah.
the bottom line. But no matter what, anyway, whether, even if they did offer us a point and say, yeah, there is a point, you drew the game because of that particular error,
Hmm.
I think we'd still finish above. I still think well, I don't think, I know that we'll finish above Spurs. I know that by a decent margin as well. That's what I think.
I just
David
don't
Macken,
want.
go on.
I just don't want because as I was saying that the guy who Jota fouled twice and got sent off. If that didn't happen, for example, we would have got the 3 points that day.
Of
So for
course,
me, then 3 points right now at the end of the season when Man City are drawing with us, then three
yeah,
points or even that point might be really valuable. And we're not really looking at it now. I'm looking into the future. What could happen? You know.
yeah, of course. And this is every point counts. Every single
Definitely.
point counts. But we can't afford more errors like we did against Spurs. We cannot afford them. Because, anyway, David McIntyre says, Frank, get back to local history. I'll do that on Mondays, I'm afraid, David. Get back to Neil Broderick says the Premier League was revamped early 90s. We started to bring the best players in the world, best managers in the world, but kept same mediocre officials. Well, that's that's a bit of controversy, that, to be honest. We keep having seasons where we lose the league by 1 point, says Charlie Wood. That's a very good point, there, actually. Pep said today, take it on the chin. They made a mistake, get on with it. let's see next time VAR goes against City. Will he accept it? I'm telling you now, he would never have accepted that yesterday. At the weekend, he would never, ever have accepted it. Believe you me, he would have still been ranting and raving now. He would have been, because we've actually seen Pep with his little rants, especially against Liverpool. Especially against Liverpool. What do you think about that? You know, as Soulboy France says, Pep today said he'd take it on the chin. Take it on the chin, you know, us, Klopp.
He's just saying that so nothing really happens for us for our advantage. You know,
Yeah,
if we we get a point.
yeah.
He's only scared of Liverpool. You can watch his
My
behaviour
folks.
during the season.
I know he's talking there. Jay Kisman's talking there. Fars the leg, I'm sorry. He's talking. Let him finish off, please.
Sorry, Jay.
No problem. I hope you're well, bro. Yeah, I was just saying that Pep Guardiola, he's only scared of Liverpool, and that's what other clubs don't. And he don't care about Chelsea, Man United, even Arsenal. Arteta, it's a joke for him. Liverpool
Yeah,
and Klopp is the only people in European football. He's not scared of probably even Bayern Munich and stuff, you know.
yeah, 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 yeah. So, what do you think? I don't know whether you've been listening to us, Lee. So, what do you think about, you know, one of the pundits, one of the Liverpool pundits, by the way, a journalist said what he would have done when they realised that they made a dreadful mistake by not allowing that goal. He would have gone over, he would have stopped the game, gone over before it went on too long, and brought the two managers together and explains what he was going to do because of the error. That is, let Diaz have the ball and run with it and put us in an empty net. And then, you know, it would have been 1-0. What do you think of that?
That sounded okay to me. I seen Stephen Warnock said that on Sky Sports. Did you see that?
No,
With
no.
Dermot Gallagher, that ref watch.
Yeah,
I used to tune in and watch that a lot now, but I just watched a bit of it on YouTube. But
yeah,
he was saying, you know, they could have just, they could have stopped it like a minute even afterwards and said, yeah,
right.
this is wrong. That was a goal.
Yeah,
I mean, we're going to say this, aren't we? But have you heard some of the nonsense coming out from other fans trying to
oh yeah,
make up ridiculous false equivalences for it and that? It's please behave, will you? I mean, it was clear as day. I could see it right at the time. Alan Shearer and Gary Lineker said it that night on Match of the Day,
yeah,
that they seen it instantly. The
yeah,
moment the still was showed, before the game was restarted, they saw it was a goal. And they were like,
yeah,
how come that hasn't stood?
yeah. Well, Neil Broderick says, I'll go over to you, Jay. Imagine if it happens in a major final. What do you think of that comment?
Remember when Sissoko got a handball and we got a penalty in the final against Tottenham?
Mm.
And Tottenham fans have been saying, "Oh, that's karma for that." So, you know,
He had
No,
his
it
arm
could
out
happen.
like he was calling a taxi, didn't he? He was like that, wasn't he, calling a
it rolled,
taxi?
it rolled down his arm. You watch that again, it rolled down his arm.
Yeah, yeah.
And don't forget, the Spurs fans should realise the final score.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
It
come
was
on. It was as
2-0.
blatant. It was as blatant a penalty as you're going to
Oh,
see in
sure.
a final, aren't you? You know what I mean? Come on. Come on. Two totally
Absolutely.
different situations, completely different situations.
Yeah.
I'd like to see if something happened to City, would they reverse it? They probably would. I reckon if something happened to City like that, they'd probably reverse it. The first
Yeah.
one, the PGMOL apologised for was Rodri's handball at Goodison that denied us the title 2 years ago.
Yeah. And
Remember
that's
that?
forgotten, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Lost the title by a point, and
Yeah.
they would have lost 2 points if that pen went in. I mean,
Yeah.
that was a clear handball as well.
It was shocking. It was it was blatant, not like an accidental sort of handball. It was blatant, so that
Yeah.
clock wouldn't go in. It was blatant. Brian Headley says, "Good evening, Frank and all. Hope you're feeling better, Frank. Those decisions were made early this year to try to deflate us early, but it won't happen. Although I was always more worried about this Brighton game." What do you think of that particular? It won't deflate us. Do you agree with that, Lee?
Yeah. I don't think it'll kill us mentally, but it does hurt, doesn't it? And it puts doubts in players' minds. Are we going to get a rub of the green here today, or are we going to get us off again? Because I mean, Jota's red card. I mean, what was that about? What was that nonsense? The first one, he didn't touch him.
No, never touched him at all. It was shocking. It was a shocking decision. And this is what football fans, well, obviously Liverpool football fans especially, they're saying how harsh it was. And it was harsh. Neil Broderick says, Gravenberch was decent last night. What do you think, what do you think, Jay, about Gravenberch? I know that you mentioned him at the beginning. So can you comment on Neil Broderick's comment?
He's got himself a goal, 2 assists since he's joined us. He's looking good. He's got good, like his legs like Spider-Man or something.
Yeah.
And
What do you
he gets
think?
about. So
Yeah, he does get about. What do you think, Lee? Do you think what Neil Broderick says about Gravenberch?
Yeah, he looks to me like he's one of those midfielders that will potentially be able to do everything in the midfield.
Yeah.
I don't see him sitting as the 6, but I see him as like Genie was. He was like brilliant defensively. And
Yeah.
he's just a real cog, wasn't he? He was a massive cog in our team, Genie. And I see that's a possibility with Ryan here, that we can have just as good out of him. I mean, he's younger than Genie was when Genie arrived. So he's got more time to work with Klopp, hasn't he? I'm a massive fan. Like, I thought it was a brilliant signing, because I was upset about us not getting like Thuram and Kone and all these names. So then when we got him right at the end, like, that really cheered me up, Frank. You know what I mean? That made me think that wasn't the worst window ever.
No. What do you think, Jay?
I'm very happy with the window we had. With that, actually, it could have been better. Maybe another pair of legs in there. But midfield-wise, McAllister, Szoboszlai and Gravenberch, you can't go wrong with that. McAllister is actually he's gone under the radar. I watched him yesterday. He's made most tackles in the Premier League or something, hasn't he, in midfield?
Yeah.
So he gets about as well. So I'm really impressed by both him and Szoboszlai. Both settled in nice, same as Gravenberch.
Yeah. Charlie Wood says,
"Sky's the limit," and they're all young actually.
But Charlie Wood says Pep was watching us come up on their heels. That's why he wants us to take it on the chin. Here's a point. If that goal stood and we still drew, we would have still been second. And it's true. It's true. Because I don't care what anyone says, watching Liverpool from the start of the season, we've got a team that's going places, and we're still only gelling. Wait till we come to near the like 3/4 of the season in, and coming to the last quarter, you'll see Liverpool playing the old way, if you know what I mean, just going at them. I was watching something before it came on, and it was 100 goals scored, right up to more or less today. And some of the goals were absolutely amazing. But I'm talking about goals as well by Mane, Salah, especially Salah, and Bobby. Absolutely amazing. But now we've got new forwards that'll, I think, recreate those three. I think it really will, or they will recreate. Can I ask you something about? Can I ask you something here about Jota? What did you think of Jota last night? And be honest.
For
Lee,
me,
go ahead then, Jay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yotta's the type of guy, he won't do nothing, boom, he'll go and score. That's good to have in the team, you know. Never did. He did okay in the game, but he always there. He always gets a goal or gets a little run, gets a little assist or whatever it is. You can't really buy that in this in the Premier League.
No,
So I'm happy.
no, you can't.
I'm
You
happy we
can't.
get him. A lot of
Yeah.
fans wanted him to go in the summer, and I was like, no, no, no. We need to keep players like Yotta. He's the type of guy who will
No,
surprise you.
you couldn't let him go. No, you couldn't let him go because no matter what he does, he always seems to score. Because when I was looking at it, the ball was getting taken off him. He was making these runs, and the ball was getting off. And then I had it in my mind. I said, he's going to score no matter what. And he did. He scored. And that's what Jota's all about. What do you think, Lee?
Yeah, I felt he'd score like after like he's one of them players, isn't he? That he's always dangerous. What were we saying the other day? Like Fox in the box, they used to call players like that. They come alive and alert, don't they, in certain areas? And I'm not saying he's rubbish on the ball and nothing outside the box, because he isn't. You see him meg players and get away from players on his own, even though he's not blessed with pace. So he is a good player in that regard as well, but it's his finishing, isn't it? It's his finishing is really good. He misses a few, but all strikers do. You know, there's no such thing as a striker that doesn't miss chances. And Jota puts away most of his big chances, I would say. Like, he's got a good ratio, hasn't he? When he gets a really good chance, it usually hits the net, doesn't it?
Well, I was going to say that, you know, the most of the, when he hits them, you know, the do ends up in the back of the net. And that's Jota. He's a typical goal anger. That's what he is. The ball comes into the area and he gets it. And look at that header last night. When he went up, he was falling back and he got a header, and the goalkeeper just about saved it, tipped it over the bar. Great save, by the way. But that's how good he is, and he's great in the air as well.
He gets good angles on his headers, doesn't he? He knows how to angle his headers.
Yeah, pity that header didn't go in, unfortunately. Anyway, good evening, Keith.
Evening, Frank. You all right, lads?
Stevie Wonder saw it was onside. Thanks for that one, Charlie.
So anyway,
the old ones are the best ones, aren't they?
Yeah. Listen, lads, I want you to, if I might, I'm going to start with Jay because he was the first on with me. I'm going to start. Out of 10, what would you give Alisson, Jay? I'm going to be quick on this.
Okay. 8.
8.
Clean sheet. Yeah, clean sheet. Everything good.
Okay.
Hello, Keith, by the way. Hope you're okay.
Hi, mate. You okay?
Yeah, all good, bro.
Good.
I'm going to ask you that anyway. Lee?
Yeah.
Alisson, 8 out of 10. Out of 10, what would you give him?
Who for?
Alisson.
Oh, Alisson. Yeah. I'll go with that. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Keith?
Is that the season so far?
No, this is just last night's game.
Last night?
Yeah.
He didn't have a lot to do, did he? He had at the end saved to make. His distribution was good.
Yeah. No, I think they're sorry about that. It's pain. No, I go along with that. What about Trenton coming back? Lee?
Yeah, I was pleased to see him back. Like, pleased to see balls getting pinged over again. He was just finding his range, wasn't he? And that, like, he'd be back soon. Creating goals.
Yeah.
He'll probably set one up on Sunday, won't he?
Out of 10.
Give him a 7.
Okay. What about you, Keith?
Yeah,
How's
7
it
for me.
then?
Yeah.
What about
7
you,
as well.
Jay?
Yeah. 7 as well. Yeah.
Okay, well that's good. What about Canetti? Out of 10, Jay?
I'll give him an 8. Can I say?
Okay. What about you, Keith?
I'd actually give him a 6. I thought there was a couple of he could have nearly given a penalty away, didn't he? You know, he just got his foot on the top of that ball.
Yeah.
And I thought, I don't know what it is with Canata this season. I think because Klopp's putting Matip in before him, so at the moment, isn't he? And so, you know, he was first choice last season, whereas Matip this season, I'm just hoping Matip doesn't have a great season. They offer him a new deal.
Yeah. No, I think that's a very good point. What about you, Lee?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ibu. It was made up like that, you know, he's fit again. And I was quite shocked that he didn't just walk back into the first team. But Jurgen's not seeing it that way, is he? And I think it'd probably be good for Canate because he knows he's got to play well when he comes in, doesn't he? He knows he can't just walk into the side.
I wonder if he was getting complacent.
Possibly, yeah, possibly. I don't know, but I thought, to be honest, I thought Matip was done all through the close season. I was saying we should let him go and get someone new. But I was wrong. He's still got something in the tank, hasn't he, Matip? It's still there. Like, he's still got the bare essentials of what's needed to cover, like, and position himself, hasn't he? He might be a bit slower than he was, but he's still got what he needs to play in the Prem, hasn't he? From what we've seen so far.
Still got the own goals and the money.
Yeah. Remember the one in Munich? Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, I've got to go through this team, lads. I'm awfully sorry.
I was going to say that. I was just going to say, I think Matip was responsible for both of them goals last week against Tottenham.
Yeah.
You know? So,
yeah.
That's the only thing about him.
Yeah.
I'd have still preferred it if we would have replaced him in the summer with Hincapie, Inacio, friggin' not Levi Colwill. I've gone off him now because we've got Kwanzaa. But all them other ones, all them other left-footed ones that sounded good. Hincapie, Inacio, Schlotterbeck, Feet, whoever he bloody is from Belgium. All these young left-footed ones was like, get him in, left-footed, let's go. But you've got to get behind the players we've got, haven't you? You know what I mean? I like Nat Phillips, but Nat Phillips was dead slow, wasn't he? Kwanzaa's got some pace. Phillips had, he had but he was just too slow at the end of the day.
I thought that was very appropriate, when you mentioned the name, whoever he is, because he's a left footer.
Feet. I think his name is Arthur Feet. At first, I thought it said Arthur Theatre. Arthur's Theatre. And he plays, he's Belgian, and I don't know, he plays for someone or other in France.
Anyway, all right, stay with you, Lee. Now, I've got to get through this. That's all one big commentary is. Just give me a score of 8 out of 10 for Tsimikas.
6 for me.
What about you, Jay? I think
7 out of 10 for Tsimikas, yeah.
Okay. What about you, Lee?
I'll give him 6.4. Not quite a 6.5. 6.4.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to go through anymore, to be honest.
I ain't given like marks after getting like that.
No, I understand that.
Who did you give man of the match to?
I gave it to Gravenberch, or whatever his name is, as Lee would say.
Yeah, Gravenberch.
Okay, I'll give it to him. But that was my man of the match anyway. Who's yours, Lee?
Yeah, Gravenberch, definitely. the Ryan fella.
Well,
Very
I know
keen
Jay.
about it.
I know Jay Kismet. He's already because we started off the show and he gave Gravenberch.
I thought Enzo did okay in the first half, didn't you? I thought Enzo did all right.
Yeah.
He
No,
didn't do anything wrong, did he? Let's put it that way.
No. But we when we're doing a preview of the game, the Brighton game, we go through each individual, you know, you three, and what team you'd like to see play against them, because it's gonna, no matter how you look at it, it's gonna be very hard for us. And Nick Broderick says VAR that season was given handball in all cases that season, no grey areas. The ball at your hand, it was a pen, and that he's spot on there. And Richard Hutchinson says LFC versus Brighton 1, so we're going to win 2-1. Line up: Allison, Trent, Matip, Virgil, Robertson, McAllister, Gravenberch, Sobo, Salah, Nunes, Diaz. How about that team?
Yeah, same as me.
Yeah, okay.
As much as I said Gravenberch was man of the match, I'd lob Enzo in from the start and then like sub maybe Mac for Gravenberch when we need the legs. I'd go with Enzo for this game, so we've got a proper DM. I don't reckon Joe will get some minutes. I think Joe will get some minutes, you know, because we got no attack with Jota suspended and Gakpo injured. I can see Joe getting minutes towards, especially with 5 subs. You know what I mean? See what he can do to there. Who's their left back? Estupiñán, is it? The Paraguayan or something like. Yeah, Estupiñán. Yeah. See what Joe can do to him if he can give him a bit of trouble, like towards the end.
Yeah. Charlie Wood says there were so many bad decisions. This is about no one has mentioned the Gomez penalty. Yeah. Against Spurs, that was. Against Spurs.
I think I missed that one.
And Brian Edley, lads, is Klopp contesting Jota's first yellow because he has 2? Gravenberch looked good, and a Divock like goal against Barcelona, and a touch concerns about McAllister's form.
Do you know what? I think McAllister, we haven't seen the best one because he's playing out of position. He's playing in a holding 6. That's not his natural role. You know, he's more your number 8. So if you looked at how he played for Brighton and for Argentina, he's that sort of he's further up the pitch. And he's always looking, you know, for the through balls, and he can score goals, but he won't at the moment. The way with the position he's in, at the moment, he's playing at that number 6. Whereas I think a good shout, Liz, as regards to somebody, he might probably play Enzo because I thought he played really well the last couple of games when he's come on. I thought he's played really well, and I think he's more suited to, or he's more used to the style and the league and everything else now. So I do think he might possibly start with Enzo and play McAllister and Szoboszlai further forward this game, because honestly, I've just got a feeling McAllister's going to score Sunday.
Well, to be honest, McAllister has been all season been playing out of position.
Yeah, all season. Yeah,
all season, and you know we haven't seen the best of him really because he hasn't been playing in his rightful position. That is going forward all the time. He's a forward-looking player.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, he's playing the DM, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think it's only a temporary measure from Klopp. This is just something temporary from Klopp using him there. I'm sure he'll use him there, like, you know, at other times when he needs to, but I don't think he sees him as the 6, like.
Well, I think Endo, and I think when Andre comes in the new year, I think that they'll be the 2 who are contesting the holding midfield. And
when Bajcetic is fit as well, he can do it, can't he?
Yeah,
he plays centre half sometimes, doesn't he, for Spain's under-21s?
They bought him as the centre half. That's
yeah.
you know. So
Yeah.
So what about Batatic? Because to me, he's just getting injured all the time.
yeah,
Don't forget, like last season, he was out for months. Then he comes back this season, and he's hardly had any minutes at all. Now he's injured again.
yeah.
And
that's-
it's a problem. It's a problem with me, to be honest, because we need everybody fit for this charge that we're going to inevitably are going to do.
You tend to find though that I know from when I played, I went through periods. I had injury after injury after injury between the age of 18 and sort of just before 20, and I was getting it. And I honestly, injury after injury, and I couldn't. It was so frustrating. And then I remember speaking to. Do you remember Mark Waller, who used to be the doctor?
Yeah.
And he said the thing is, when you're between the ages of 16 and 19, especially, your body's growing, and once you get an injury, especially if it's a bad injury, and you're laid off, your body, it's hard to come back because you're prone to injuries. You're actually prone more to injuries because you've had likes of like Conor Bradley. Who's the right back that we signed from Aberdeen, who's gone to Preston?
Ramsey.
Ramsey.
Ramsey. I mean, Stevie Gerrard had it. You know, Steven Gerrard done his.
Yeah.
It was actually because he was growing, but he was having problems with his back. But then you've got likes of, I mean, God bless him, Paul Glatzel. You know, the lads in 23s. Yeah. You know, Paul's only 20, but he had an ACL. But honest to God, that lad's been so unlucky with injuries. But that's what happens to you. Your body can't get used to react to suddenly being inactive. Mine was 9 months. So I was inactive for 9 months. Trying to come back from it, I was getting groin strains, hamstring, all sorts. It was just constant. Whereas likes of Batatic, his is the abductor. And so if you've been prone to, say, groin strains, abductor, hernias, things like that, unfortunately, you are prone to it. And hamstrings as well. Hamstring injuries. Michael Owen was a prime example to that.
Yeah.
So you unfortunately, your body can't. How can I put it? It doesn't weaken, but certain parts you're more prone to picking up injuries.
We're just going to have to hope that he grows out of it, though. You know, that's just like we were saying about other players and that. You know, Gerrard had it, but then he was all right. Like, wasn't he? Yeah. Some players, it's just when they're growing. It's at that particular age, around 18, 19, isn't it?
Yeah. I tell you what, Lee, Naby Keita must have been injured at 16, mustn't he?
Certainly, yeah.
Well, listen, lads, I'm just going to mention a few comments here from the boys who's put us in. And Richard Hutchinson says, we've been through this actually. Liverpool need to replay the match against Spurs. Darren England and Simon Hooper need to be sacked from football. Pigmell need to improve. Well, we all agree on that. Gravenberch, I don't mean about the match having to be replayed, to be honest, because it'll never happen. Captain Sal says, Gravenberch, I have to admit, is a great signing, even though I wasn't too thrilled about it. Mark Simons, he says, the linesman should be investigated for flagging it in the first place when he was behind play. I thought he was in line with play. That's made it worse.
He was right there, wasn't he? He was right there. He was right next to them, like he was like breathing on Salah's neck.
Yeah. As the ball was being played, he was right in line. Anyway, never mind the VAR. Pep is a joke. He was involved with corruption at Barca, now being investigated. I didn't know that. This is nuts, this. Soulboy Fran, do you think Enzo will replace Jones on Sunday? I'd like to see Gravenberch, but he played a full game last night I think we'll discuss that by Soulboy Fran. And it's only what we've been talking about, especially you, Keith. What do you think? Do you think that Endo should play and the likes of Gravenberch won't because of playing a full 90 minutes last night?
Yeah, I think taking Endo off maybe gives us an idea of what's in Klopp's plans. But I think if Gravenberch hadn't played the 90 minutes, I think I would have liked to see him start Sunday, because I think he's just got something about him, hasn't he? He's got this. I hate saying this, but he reminds me a little bit of a Paul Pogba years ago. I mean, that, whether we love him or hate him and love who he played for, he was a good player. You know what I mean? So
player, wasn't he?
Yeah. So
it was a bit of a puzzle that it never really worked for him at United, because they had other good. It weren't like he was in a terrible team where he couldn't show any form. It just looked like to me that he wasn't up for it. When he went a bit crap and that, like, he was like, well, I'm not busting me gut here. It
was what he was up to out of the club and training. That's what an awful lot of what was going on. He's got interest in a record company and all of the different things. And he reckoned that he was coming in, his training was rubbish, and it's just. I mean, look at that now. He's failed a drug test. The second test has come back positive, and the reason that he's taken the performance enhancing drugs is because he needed something to. Sometimes, as a player, sometimes either injury or you lose interest. And I'll give an example of Dele Alli, great player, but he'd done too much at such a young age that, unfortunately, when you get to a certain age, you tend to fall out of love or lose that fire in your belly to be a footballer, or to go in training 5 days a week and all that commitment and all that. So I think with Pogba, that's what it is. But I'd like to see Gravenberch start with Szoboszlai and McAllister, but don't think he will. Now, thinking about it now, I think he will play Endo on Sunday instead of Gravenberch.
Okay. What about you?
Tough away game. We need a proper strong DCM, I think, for this one.
Yeah.
Give it a go. But you know what you were saying there about players falling out of love with the game? I always remember Mark Kennedy. Do you remember him, Mark Kennedy?
Yeah.
And he was always seen in cream or something, like that was what you always used to hear. He was always in cream, like, every weekend.
Yeah.
And his career just went nowhere. But he had loads of talent, like, didn't he?
Yeah.
He told you he had loads of talent.
Definitely.
Okay. Well, that's being said. Hang on. Richard Hutchinson, Liverpool needs a central midfielder. Gakpo will be back after international break, and Thiago is still injured. And this is the big point. I'm going to go to Lee on this. Not Lee. Jay. Jay, I'll read that out again. Liverpool needs a central midfielder. Gakpo will be back after international break, and Thiago is still injured. What's your take on that? Do we still need a central midfielder?
I think in January we're going to get the guy from South America, so I think we'll be covered for that. And also, you got Jones. Jones, I'm not really. I tell you the truth, I'll never be convinced by Jones, but we've got Jones, Gravenberch, Endo, even Harvey Elliott to fill in the gaps, So, but if Andre comes in January, I think that'd be a good move.
Yeah, I think he will come in January. Well, that's what I've been told anyway. It's done and dusted. What do you think, Lee, about that? All right, get back to you. I'm sorry, Keith. What Richard says here, Liverpool needs a central midfielder.
Well, Andre, I've heard Andre's a done deal, 26 million. So I think because I think as Klopp looks at it now, is that that's the final jigsaw piece of the jigsaw, so he can play. He's got that option of having Endo or Andre as your holding, and it frees up, you know, your McAllister, Szoboszlai, your Gravenberch, Jones, and Elliott. Although I personally, I'm still not convinced myself, as well as Jay, like Jay, with Jones, and certainly not Elliott. I think Elliott's an impact player off the bench. I don't think he's a 90 minutes. I can't remember a game where he's lasted 90 minutes. I think he played last night, but certainly Premier League, I don't remember him playing the full 90 minutes. And I think ever since he got injured at Leeds, he hasn't been the same. But yeah, definitely Andre coming in. We definitely do need one. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Lee?
Do we need? Yeah, and Andre's the man. Yeah, I think we're all fans of Andre now after seeing his highlights videos. Never heard of him before. Like, I'll admit that much. Don't watch Brazilian footy, but well, I do watch Brazilian footy, but it's from a long time ago. You know what I mean?
Pele was playing, Revelino. Yeah, absolutely amazing players. All right then. And Neil Broderick, I want to talk about this. That Nunes sitter was bad though. I'm going to you, Jay. Nunes and the sitter.
Tell the truth, that was like crazy. But he's the type of guy, he will pay you back anyway in the game, or he will do something later on, in maybe even the next game. So for me, if he misses it, it don't really affect me. But there's certain fans who go a bit OTT with the criticism of the guy, you know. So for me, it happens, you know. But it was a bit of a bad boy sitter, that was.
What do you think, Lee? And miss?
Yeah, he tried to put it in the corner of the net, didn't he? Rather than just putting it in the goal.
Yeah, I think he got mixed up with the the post and the corner flag. That's what I think he did, to be honest. What did you think, Keith? Come on, be honest.
Do you know what? I've had a conversation about this today, and do you know what? I've seen Keegan, Rushy, Fowler, Owen. So we've seen all our centre forwards over a period of time miss sitters. We have.
Do you ever remember that? Do you ever remember that Ronnie Rosenthal one?
Oh yeah, the crossbar.
Yeah. Kicked him over the bar.
Yeah.
He was a funny player to watch, Ronnie Rosenthal, because he didn't have brilliant skill, but he was fast and barely, wasn't he? And just like bustled through. And he could be amusing to watch sometimes, couldn't he? Like just put his head down and run like a bull in a china shop, but he'd forget to look up, wouldn't he? Sometimes, you know what I mean, to see what was going on.
Yeah, but you know, even Origi missed sisters. You know, we've everyone. It's like a keeper will make mistakes. A defender, everyone makes mistakes, and some lads who I know, something to just one was a Man City, unfortunately, and he was going on about Nunes, and I said, hey, you know, down the years, apart from Haaland, who doesn't miss anything, you know, you've had plenty of bad centre forwards and that, you know, and I've seen Aguero miss sitters and that, so it happens. And I tell you, do you want all these who go on about you just Andy Carroll and all this who wait until the end of the season when he scores over 20 goals. You won't be laughing then. And we win the league.
Oh, that's right. But do you know what? I tell you who never missed a sitter. I'll tell you who never, ever missed a sitter. And that was Suarez. I never seen him miss anything. It was in the back of the net. Absolutely. I was watching him today. An incredible player for us. Anyway, Jota was awful last night, says Brian Edley. Him and Costas both. But we are expecting too much from Costas at times. Great finish by Jota all the same. So it's like a bit of that comment is a bit of I don't know. You can't say one thing and say another, can you really? And I mentioned about Tsimikas. And there was terrible there. You know, I'm just talking about Liverpool supporters here, and when they said 9 out of 10 and 10 out of 10, he was getting 2s and 3s. I thought he was well better than that. I'd give him a 7.5 myself. Costas. I thought he was all right.
I've never heard that many people slag him off badly. I've heard people saying he's not good enough as a backup, but I've never heard people saying he's rubbish. But now people are saying he's rubbish, like, and
exactly.
I'm not having that.
No, I'm not having
We
that.
wouldn't have given him a new contract if he was rubbish, would we?
Yeah, of course. And he loves Liverpool. He loves it. Jota has been poor, in my opinion, says Captain Stell, but he still has the Midas touch. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, lads. And, you know, I didn't want to see him go anyway. And Neil Broderick says Union put a lot of men behind the ball last night, and the pace was almost walking pace. Even when Diaz came on, the pace unusually stayed the same. Maybe it was Klopp's instructions: stay low key and conserve energy. Do you know what? I think the free flowing stopped when Salah went off. I don't know whether I don't know whether you're aware of that, but
He might have upset the rhythm slightly, mightn't it?
It did.
The rhythm slightly.
It did. And I'll tell you another thing that never gets mentioned, and it's always the Nunes sitter. When Mo did that run and he was through on goal and it was saved, you know, I thought that it was 0-0. It was 0-0 at the time, and he went through. And I think he should have scored it. I really do think that.
Hey, wasn't it great to see? Sorry to cut it. Wasn't it great to see Galatasaray rolling back the years? Like, remember that in the mid-90s when they were a bit of a bogey for when Fergie first got in the Champions League, because United hadn't won the league for like nearly 30 years either, had they? And they got in, and I think it was 2 years on the row. Galatasaray bounced them out at the Ali Semi end. It was like a 2-leg or some shit. I don't know. It might have been the group stage. Yeah, there was 2 group stages. Remember then in the early 90s, there was 2 group stages or something, weren't they? And they kept doing United, well, twice anyway. I think it was 2 seasons in a row. Didn't happen.
Yeah, it was Saka. It was SAKUR.
Saka,
Hakan Suker and players like that,
That was SUKUR, that's it.
Remember Emre for Inter Milan, the little fella? Emre, the little Turkish fella. He was brilliant, him. Oh, his left foot was a pure wand. He was brilliant, him.
Yeah, absolutely. Richard Hutchinson, you know, when we was giving marks out of it, because I've got to say this, because he spent his time doing it, giving players ratings. And he says Alisson 7, Trent 7.5, Quansah 7.5, Kanate 7, Samikas 6, Endo 5, Elliott 6, Gravenberch 8, Salah 6, Nunes 5, Jota 7.5. And the subs: Jones 6, McAllister 7, Diaz 6, Gomez 6, Sobo 6. And don't forget, we won, lads. All right, I'll have to do some of these. I hope you don't mind, fellas. Richard Hutchinson again. Liverpool need to bring in Neto or Bowen or Sané or Rafinha. I don't know about. I don't know.
Neto with Salah goes.
Yeah. I'll tell you who I'd like, and I can't pronounce his name. I can't unless he's
the lad from Napoli.
The lad from Napoli.
Konashvili, is it? Something like that.
Nikita Khrushchev.
I'd love to see him play, you know, take over Mo Salah's, because he's only young, you know, he's only a young lad, but he's got a lot of bottle loads of skill. And I think he'd be ideal for us, I'm telling you now.
Do you know what? I'm sad to say, but I haven't seen him. I don't watch the foreign leagues anymore. I'm too old now to be bothered. You know, watching the foreign leagues. I used to years ago, but I just can't be bothered now. So I know nothing about him virtually.
Well, Well, I'm being honest. I follow Serie A. Always watch Serie A. I do. But I haven't been watching it so much this season because of other commitments I have to have. Lee Brazy, I like Gravenberg. He is a kind of player who lets the ball do the work, turns fast as well, and good dribbling. I think he will play Sunday, but probably come on from the bench. We only have one striker for that game, and that's Darwin. That's a good point. Charlie Woods. Andy Carroll said he didn't like football. He never watched the game for fun. I said, that's a new one for me, to be honest.
Andy
Play
Carroll said,
Trent in there until January, lads. I don't know. Go on.
I was just going to say, Andy Carroll said that he wished he failed his medical when he joined us from Newcastle.
Really?
He said that.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He reckons that the only player he knew at Liverpool at the time was Steven Gerrard.
And he didn't know anyone else?
No.
And yet he signed for them?
I don't believe him because I mean, even though we weren't great, we're still Liverpool Football Club, and people know who play. Even now I don't watch Arsenal, I don't watch Tottenham, I don't watch any other than Liverpool, but I can still name squads of the top teams. I couldn't have Burnley or Luton and things like that, but I could have of the top teams. So I never ever believed that at all. But what a waste of money.
Yeah, waste of.
He's probably just jumping on the Newcastle.
Yeah. And we got rid of Torres for him. That was Comoli, though.
Getting Suarez made up for the Carroll signing being crap. We didn't really notice after a while, did we? We were like, all right, he's still here, but we've got Louis, so let's go.
Yeah.
LFC RNCs, I get what you're saying, but the best strikers put away the chances. They are supposed to score. They are supposed to score from the chances, that is. Núñez misses too many chances he should score from. And he has missed loads. And as Keith said, imagine, he's going to be well into double figures by the end of the season. But just imagine if he would have been putting them away what he was missing.
Yeah.
Let's hope he doesn't miss too many this season because he could be breaking all kinds of records if he did put them away.
I forget who. Do you know what, Frank? I was watching it last night, and Michael Owen mentioned someone who said the first season a particular player came into the Liverpool team. I'm trying to think who it was, and then he said from the second season they were a different player. And I think that'll be the same with Núñez. Don't forget he scored 15 goals last season. That's not bad for a young lad to come into a new league. And I honestly think
team that was struggling.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we were struggling. You're right. Yeah, we were struggling for the whole season. Not just for form, but injuries and things like that. So, whereas I think this season he'll only get better, Núñez, and I think he's going to be a monster. Honestly, I think he'll score a lot of goals.
Well, that's what he came back, Aaron, and said, I'm not writing off Núñez. Clearly, he's a problem for the opposing defenders, and that's so true. He is. He is a problem because he's got the pace. He can beat a man as well, as you know, and he can hit a ball. He's he can hit a ball, but he's only got to catch a few of them right, if you know what I mean. Like last night when he went through and it was on the left into the Anfield Road end and he hit it, but it hit his shin, unfortunately, and the goalkeeper got it. It would have been a cracking goal if he was a hitter properly. And that's what kind of a player he is.
Yeah, there's rough edges to be ironed out with the lad, isn't there? He's only, what is he, 23? 23 is nothing for a forward.
No, I like that analogy. You know, the creases to be ironed out. Neil Broderick says, Keith, don't get me wrong, I love Nunes and believe he will be top notch for the future. But all them players you mentioned did miss sitters. Nunes, in his short time at Anfield, has missed more than all of them put together.
But do you know what the other thing is to that? He's getting in the positions to score. He's there in the positions to score. And it will click. I promise you it'll click. Don't forget, Rushy struggled when he first came into the team. And at one point, Paisley was thinking about selling him.
Yeah.
And I think he called him into the office, didn't he, one time? Paisley and said, I'm going to put you on the transfer list. And then suddenly put him in the game, in one of the masses, and something clicked for him. So I'm always the deal that if you're a centre forward who's not scoring goals because you're not in the positions or you're not getting the chances or, you know, you're just getting a half chance or one or two chances a game, I just think with Nunes, something will click eventually, I promise you. You know, the lads we wouldn't be spending potentially 85 million on a dud, not these days. And as you said, Lee, he's 23. He'll only get better.
There's a lot to his game as well, isn't there? He's got so many aspects to his game, the pace, the heading. Yeah. And he can, I mean, that first finish at Newcastle shows he can do them types of finishes, like when he's on it. So we'll see that. We'll see that soon enough. And everyone else will see that. The City fans will see that and have to eat their words. Not that they ever admit to it, like, you know what I mean? That they've talked a load of bollocks about our players, but they'll have to eat their words soon, I think. Some of them City fans calling them a flop.
Well, I'd like to see what City are like as a team if they had Alvarez, Haaland and Rodri missing for a period of time. They won't be the same team.
Mm-hmm.
I think Redberg gives out a good point here. I really do. I don't get this talk of we need to concentrate on this or that. Teams should try to win every game. I've got a special guest come on here. I'm going to think, oh, I love this, lads, but let me just show you so. There he is. There's the boy himself.
Hi, Jamie.
Hey, Jamie. You're okay?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Excellent. How's little Penny? Is she still recovering well?
Yeah, she's doing really, really well, actually, man. She's doing really good. Really good.
Excellent.
Good to hear.
Excellent. May's up with that. We've been talking a lot of things, you know, about last night's game, about the coming game on well, we haven't really spoke about the coming game on Sunday. But anyway, we were talking about Gravenberch, I think, and Kwanzaa. What do you think of those two players and how they played last night? What did you think, Jamie?
I think with Gravenberch, he's got to be. We've pulled Bayern Munich's pants down for how much we paid for him, in my opinion. Again, I think this guy's got to be special. I said this when he was at Ajax. There was something about him. He was talked along the lines of the same as Bellingham and Camavingas and stuff like that. As these next young European footballers coming through, they're going to be the next generation of players for years to come. And Gravenberch just had a bad year in Germany where they didn't want to play him because they wanted to play sixes. They didn't really want to play eights, and so he didn't find himself in that team. The problem is with society, and especially in football, is that if a player's not playing for someone like Bayern Munich, people are like, well, why are we buying him then? If he can't play for Bayern Munich, why are we buying him? And that's not the reason. You know, he's a tremendous footballer. He's got bags of ability. He will score goals as well. You've seen that already. You know, he almost got that second with that lovely long shot at curling effort where the keeper saved really well off. He's got bags of ability. He carries the ball really well. He protects the ball really well. No, he's a tremendous player. And with Kwanzaa, You're going to have to take your time with this lad because it's very easy to get a bit, we've got a player here sort of thing. He's a unit. He's quick. You can't. Every game I've seen him play at the moment, he's not intimidated. He's literally not intimidated by whoever he's playing against. And he's sitting there and he looks like a leader on the pitch as well. Yeah, there was a reason when we didn't loan him out and we let Nat Phillips leave. There was a reason for it because Kwanzaa's a far better defender already than Nat Phillips at least a young age. Plus, he can do what Klopp wants to do. He's got pace. He's got strength. He can defend one-on-one. He's a tremendous player. And the game yesterday, I know a lot of people have been talking about the game yesterday because it was slow, it was boring. Look, I almost fell asleep, I ain't gonna lie. It weren't the greatest game, but I think that's down to the players because my opinion is I think Klopp's taking the Europa League very seriously. I don't think the players are, in my opinion. I think if that was a Champions League game on Wednesday night instead of playing on that Thursday, I think you would have seen a different performance from the boys. I think the boys are taking it a bit too lethargic. They're looking at the players they're playing against, the teams they're playing against, and they know they can beat them. And when you've got that in your head, no matter what the manager's telling you, tactics, instructions, whatever, you'll go have lethargic performances. And we've had 2 in our opening 2 games against really poor opposition. I don't think they played well, Union. I don't think they played a low block and we couldn't break them down or anything like that. I think we would go score at any time if we wanted to pick the pace up a little bit and put a bit more effort into the game. I just think the players were very lethargic and just felt like they're going to win the game in 90 minutes, even if it's just 1-0. And I think that's what it's going to be like till we get out the group stages when we play probably a bit better caliber of team.
Yeah, there's got to be a drop, hasn't there, mentally from the Champions League in their minds, the players. Some of them.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. I agree with what Lee said, what Jamie said there, because it is a drop down, and it is. And Liverpool, even the crowd was quiet. It really was because this wasn't a Champions League game, and we will play differently as the time goes on. But when you get the Champions League, it is totally different. It really is. The atmosphere, the teams, everything. What do you think, Keith, about what Jamie just said?
Yeah, hi Jamie, you're all right, mate.
You're all right, Ben.
I think it's understandable, really. I mean, if you're going to be running out onto Anfield against Barcelona or against LASK, mentally you're going to be motivated differently, aren't you? You're going to be up against top quality, one of the best teams in the world, one of the best clubs in the world, to a team. Let's be honest. I mean, I hadn't heard of LSK, LASK or Union, who we played last night. I hadn't heard of them before, So it's motivating yourself to. I don't think it's motivating. I don't think there's a difficulty motivating themselves to play for Liverpool, but it's like, I suppose, in a way, an FA Cup game where you could draw Mansfield at Anfield, or you can draw Man City at Anfield. You're going to think differently and play differently, So
definitely, because Mansfield are a much bigger club, aren't they?
They fill their stadium.
They've got a bigger fan base.
Well, LFC, Aaron says, I'd like you to talk about this, and I'll go to Jay Kismet here at the first, and I'll go to Jamie, then on to Keith, then on to you, Lee. Okay. Klopp mentioned this the other week. This is about the Europa League, by the way, lads, that the players need to get over their embarrassment of playing in the Europa League. What do you think, Jay?
This is basically what I was saying. It's that they know they're good enough. This team should be playing Champions League football. It's as simple as that. The players we got, the team we have, the manager we have, we should be playing Champions League football, and they feel down about it playing Europa League football because we should never be in the Europa League. With Jurgen Klopp as manager and the players we got, we should never be playing Europa League. It's as simple as that. And the players know that. And then we're playing people like Lasker, Union, and I don't even know the other team we've got in that group. I can't remember. It's that bad. You know, it's they will feel that, and just like they will know what it is. They just know they're going to win these games. No matter the team Klopp puts out, they're all going to be better than the opposition they're playing in this group. We're going to win all 6 games, and I reckon all 6 games are going to all look lethargic. But it's the same what Keith just said. If we played Mansfield in the FA Cup tomorrow, Klopp would put out sort of a 50-50 team, and we'd win comfortably, but it'll look really lethargic. But if we played Man City, it'll be a totally different game. I mean, look at the Man City Liverpool game just after the World Cup, where we didn't. Either team really didn't put out their strongest teams, but it was an amazing performance by both teams. You know, a really entertaining game of football. You know, it's just, I don't know what it is with footballers. I think they just, if you're a professional footballer, you'll know you're much better in the team you're playing. And if you keep thinking that mentally, it's going to show on the pitch. And I just think that's what it's going to be for the Europa League. We're going to win all 6 games. They're all going to be comfortable. We're never really going to be under any threat. But every game's going to look lethargic. I think that's just the way it's going to be. I don't know why, what the reason mentally is. I just feel like they, as Klopp said, the embarrassment there of not being in Champions League when they know they should be, especially when you look how poor the Champions League is this season. You know,
Can I put a theory to you as well? You know that Liverpool, they just finished out on the quadruple. They really did. And it was shocking to think how we finished it.
Well, we won a treble, really.
Yeah, but
Rodney's
listen,
on ball.
just let me come out with this theory. Do you think that top sides, the likes of Liverpool, you know, who's had like an indifferent season, don't forget we finished 5th, by the way. We had an indifferent season. They should be seeded. They should be seeded for what they did in the past. And I'm talking the last few years. I'm not talking about the other 5 European Cups to be won. I'm talking about the last few years, seeded to go into the Champions League.
What do you mean? What do you mean by it?
No, what I mean is, you know, the way Liverpool was, and they've been in Champions League every season, they've won it. They've been in 3 finals as well, 2 of the finals. We've been there and thereabouts. And because we had an indifferent season and finished 5th instead of that 4th spot, do you think that they should have been seeded to go into the Champions League?
Well, that's what's going to happen this season if a team finishes 5th, probably, because English teams are probably going to go far in Europe this season. So the 5th spot will probably go to whoever finishes in 5th. But the problem is, like, you can't. I don't know if you can reward someone with a big competition when at the end of the day we failed, you know, to meet our expectations. That's my only thing. We are where we are. Look, I want to win Europa League. I enjoy Europa League football. I watched the Brighton game against Marseille before our match at 6 p.m. Yesterday. It was a bloody entertaining game of football. It was actually more entertaining than some of the Champions League games. Yeah. Liverpool deserve. I think, Frank, really Liverpool deserve to be where they are, you know, because of what happened last season, you know, and Liverpool have just got to put their big boy shoes on now and go out there and prove everyone that we can be back this season and just go and win this competition, in my opinion, because we should.
Okay, yeah. Keith, what about you?
I personally don't think they should be automatically put in just because if, you know, it could happen to anyone. It could happen to, look at Man United. It's happened to them loads over the last number of years. You know, it's happened to teams in La Liga and Serie A as well, hasn't it? So, but I want to win it as well, Jamie. I want us to go and win this because it's the one cup or the one trophy that Klopp hasn't won. But also, I want it to be a motivation to the players that if they, you know, they might look at the teams that are in the Europa League and the standard of football and the standard of games. Let this be a motivation to make sure that they get in that bloody Champions League next year. I still think we're going to win the league this year. I honestly do think, considering where we were talking a few weeks ago, Jamie and Frank, where we were, on edge of who we're going to sign. But now we'll look at what we've got, bringing Andre in. I know we've got Salah missing for a few weeks in the winter for the African nations. But honestly, it should be a motivation to make sure that we do not end up in the Europa League again. Certainly under Klopp, anyway.
What about you, Lee?
I was just thinking why the other guys were speaking was I don't think like our young players are undervaluing the Europa League, are they? Like Harvey and players like that are buzzing to be playing in Europe, aren't they? But yes, some of the bigger names and that like might not be giving it 100%. But yeah, I'm massively up for us winning this because it's a massive trophy. It always was. I mean, people deride it and that now, but a lot of them are talking shit because they've just never won it. You know what I mean? Chelsea have won it twice, haven't they now? So they're closest to us. We've got 3 and they've got 2. I'm always thinking in them terms. So let's make it 4. That'll be 6 big ones and 4 of the second one. That's 10 in all. Double figures. Let's go.
What about you, Jay Kismet?
Yeah, all right, Jamie, hope you're well.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I just think the way we played Europa games, the last 2 games, we played it in second gear, and I'm happy with that because I don't want us to go full throttle. And when we played the Premier League at the weekend, we sort of burnt out. So I'm okay with the speed we play in the games as long as we win them.
Okay. Funny enough, Neil Broderick says 5th spot won't go to England, Jamie, because United will be dumped out of the group stage.
I don't know. I think if City win the Europa League, Champions League, which I think they will, then I think it still might. I'm not sure. I'll have to have a look. But yeah, United are not even going to get into the Europa League. They're finishing bottom of their group. It's hilarious. I don't think they're beating. They got Copenhagen in their next 2 games. I don't think they're winning one of them. I don't think they beat them away.
Hope not. Frank, I'm going to have to go, buddy.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, Frank, I've got to go as well, man. I just wanted to come in and say hello because I've been really busy and all that. So I just wanted to come in and say hello and stuff like that. And I'll be back soon, man. Once I get my stuff sorted.
Thank you, Jamie. Give me love to little Penny. Give me love.
Cheers, Jamie.
Hope everyone's all right.
Keith.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Keith. See you next week, eh?
I'll see if I was going to call you today, mate, but I've been up the wall, so.
Don't worry, I know you're up the wall with your dad as well, you know.
Yeah, and it was just a quick reminder, mate of mine, or mate of ours, Frank, Jake Abraham lost his life.
Yeah.
And so we've got the funeral next Friday. So I didn't know if you were going, Frank. I'm going over. George Sefton and Paul Drake are going next week.
Yeah,
so.
Padraig got hold of me. The thing is, I've got this thing here, and I can't move. I'm in pain now. I'm actually in pain now, and I'm just going to see how I am next week.
See how you are. Want me to pick you up? I'll come and pick you up.
If you would, that would be fantastic. Yeah,
it's in Waverley Street. Yeah, it's in Waverley Street, so I can always pick you up, take you, and I'll drop you off, mate.
Thank you so much, Jamie.
Girls are coming.
Jamie, thank you so much, and I hope to see you, Jamie, anytime you want. There'll always be a link there, my friend. Thank you.
Man. I'll see you soon. Yeah, keep well.
Okay, God bless. God bless, lads.
See you guys.
Thank you so much, Keith. Thank you.
God bless. You're welcome. Cheers, lads.
Well, mate, that's what you call devoted players, devoted supporters, and you know, Jamie to come on and just to say hello. And great fella, love him. I really love him. I really do. I think he's one of those
nice
lads,
guy, Jamie. Yeah,
oh yeah, absolutely. But as Charlie Wood says, if clubs are seasoned, they wouldn't be motivated to play the same. That's not a bad answer.
Yeah, there's more than a grain of truth in that, like, isn't there?
Yeah. Philip Biswell. Instead of 5th place, in my opinion, the extra place should go to whoever wins the major domestic cup. So, for the English teams, that would mean the FA Cup winners, which is good. Which is good.
Yeah.
So listen, lads, I'd say I was going to ask them to pick the team. I'll just say, you pick Ali. That's no problem. You pick Salah. So, who would your back four be, Lee, on Sunday?
I'd go for obviously Alisson in goal. Then I'd have Trent, Konate, Van Dijk, and Robertson. I know everyone's made up that, and I was saying before how well Matip's done, but I would like to see Ibu and VVD start. Because they've got some pace, haven't they, up front? Brighton. They've got like Welbeck, Matoma. They've got players with pace and who are direct. So yeah, that's the back four I'd like to see. I'd like to see Ibu brought back in, Frank.
Okay. What about you, Jay?
Yeah, I'd go with Trent right back, with Kwanzaa, Virgil, and Robertson.
Oh, okay. So that's what. Yeah, okay. That's good. What about your midfield three, Lee?
I'd go with Gravenberch, McAllister, Sabotsalai.
What about you, Lee?
I'm going to go Endo, Maka on the left side and Szoboszlai on the right side for me.
Okay. So no Gravenberch at all, no.
Off the bench, sadly. As much as I love him and I'm made up, I'd just like to see Endo shielding the back four at Brighton because it's a tough assignment and I want us to be defensively tight if possible.
Okay. What about your three forwards, Jay?
I'd go with Diaz, Nunez, and Salah.
Okay. What about you, Lee?
Yeah, that's a choice this week, isn't it? There's no Gakpo and Jota,
There's
so
no Gakpo, no
we're
Jota.
pretty much we're forced into it unless he plays a slightly different formation and only two of them three play, which I can't really see. I don't think he's going to do that. He might do, but
do you mean four in midfield?
Yeah. I think it'll be exactly what we just said. Then it'll be Nunez, Diaz, and Salah.
Well, my midfield will be Szoboszlai, obviously McAllister, and I'll put Gravenberch in there. I really would.
Yep.
I really would. But I agree. The back two, if you like, the two centre halves, Ibu and Virgil, with Trent on the right and Robertson on the left. That's who my defence. That's who they'd be. And my forwards, I'll go along with. We've got to play our best. We've got to. It's as simple as that. Because we don't want to draw this game. We want to win this game. And I'd go along with Salah, Nunez, and Diaz. That's my front three. Well,
I can see Doak. Remember what we were saying before? I can definitely see Doak getting some action with the other forwards not available.
Yeah.
I think he'll get a look in at some stage later on.
Yeah. I think that's cool. I really do. I really think that's cool. And brother, Salah, Nunez, Doak. That's his forward line. Which is, putting young Doak in there. And he says Grav, Szoboszlai, and McAllister. I think most of the people now are going along with Gravenberch. I really do. They're going along with him, along with Szoboszlai, obviously, and McAllister. So, well, listen, lads, I'm going to finish now. I'm absolutely in agony here.
Mm-hmm.
What's the matter, Frank?
I've got this thing I'd show you, but it's horrible. It's an abscess, and it's that size. It's that size on me.
Is it under control? Like
No, I'm on antibiotics. You're not going to believe it. The doctor I went to today, the other day, he said, I'm going to phone up. He said, you've got to go to the hospital with that. Go right away. So I said, okay. And he phones up, and the next, they came back and said, oh, yeah, he needs to be seen to. But unfortunately, this department, it was the Linda McCartney department, you know, at the New Royal,
Yeah.
they're on strike. So anyway, he said, I'm putting you on these antibiotics. So I said, okay. So he put me on these antibiotics, and I didn't receive the antibiotics until late yesterday. So I'm on them. And he phoned me up today, the doctor. Now, that's the first time ever that a doctor has phoned me up to say how I am, because they're worried, because it hasn't been dressed. I'd show you it, but I think you'd be jealous of me, Mo Salah body, you see. So, but anyway, I can't move. I really can't move. I'm absolutely in bulk. But anyway,
I hope you're okay, mate.
Yeah,
It take a few days to get into your bloodstream, antibiotics, don't they? You've got to have a couple of nights sleep on them and that. And they work their magic, don't they, while your body's having a rest.
I'm going to the hospital 9 o'clock on 9 o'clock Monday morning. Got to go to Aintree to get it sorted. It's not even dressed. I said, can a nurse come out to me? Because I can't walk. I really can't walk, honestly. I cannot walk because of it. I'm stooped forwards because if I move it, I'm just got a pain there. But that's the way it is. Don't want to try that. Anyway, I should be all right next week. And I'll see you next week, Lee, okay?
All right, mate. Cheers. Thanks for having us on, mate.
No, I love you. Honest. And Jay Kismet over there. Absolutely brilliant, lads. So I'll see you next week, Jay.
Okay then, Frank. I hope you get better.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
bye,
you
mate.
so much. I'll see you
Jay.
next week. Now, don't forget, Lee, your link goes in your email. To your email.
Yeah,
Jason.
the other one, it was in the other one that Jason sent me. It was in my junk mail, but it didn't work when I pressed it. So then he sent me another one from his personal stream or something it said on it, and that one worked fine.
Right.
So
that's right.
So is it Tuesday?
Yeah. Tuesday.
Sounds.
Yeah. So he'll keep doing that, Lee. Is that okay? He'll keep doing
brilliant.
that like that.
Oh, Frank, I've seen that you've got a Facebook page. Add me on your friends for your Facebook page. I've made a request on it just so I can make comments on the history stuff. You know, your history videos.
Yeah,
Snakey and a few others in there. Jason sent me an email saying it's the only thing that you have to do yourself that he doesn't do is your Facebook. Do you know what, mate? I've only just made one for the first time in my life because I am pretty old myself now, you know what I mean, in terms of like wanting to do it. But I've only just made one myself and, looking for interesting things. And obviously your history stuff and that, like, and people talking about our fair city would be right up my street.
Well, I got a last in York on Tuesday. I got a standing ovation, which was off the student union, and they didn't realise what Liverpool had given them, Lee. And I stood there. I was invited up because what they had actually seen was the documentary "Scouse Not English: Why Is Liverpool So Different from the Rest of the Country?" So I had to go up there. But it wasn't just like, against the establishment through, recent times. It was always against them anyway. It's like there's never been, I'll give you this little trivia thing. This is what I was saying to them. There's never been any government in the hundreds of years. We've been celebrating 800 years of Liverpool. And there's never, ever been in any city throughout the country where gunboats, 50,000 armed troops, and 6,000 policemen from Birmingham and Leeds were sent to Liverpool to quell a strike in 1911. That's never been known. And they did martial law in 1924 as well in Liverpool. So they've always been against Liverpool for some reason. They've always tried to control us. They've always tried to control. They control the other cities. They can control
This
the other
book,
cities.
Frank, this is a good book, The Gangs of Liverpool.
The Irish gang. The Irish gang. And the female gang.
Michael McElwee. There's a lot of
Yeah.
anti-Scouse rhetoric from the southern media in this.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
very noticeable. And this is
Yeah.
from 150 years ago.
That's
And they were
right.
having a go at us then, the southern media. They've never stopped, have they? They'll never
No,
stop slagging us
and
off.
well, this is why we didn't get our city status until 1880.
Yeah.
We got a city status. Yeah, we've given the world everything, if you know what I mean, from a dock system to an overhead railway to a wonderful passenger trains system all over the world, you know. And they didn't give us our city status. So, yeah, they've been against us for all this time. Then the managed decline thing as well between Thatcher and Geoffrey Howe, which was a shocking. A city in the UK that they wanted to manage it as it declined. Think about that.
Yeah.
This is what was putting over. Then, obviously, I put in Hillsborough. I put that in. And, and obviously the rag with the truth. So I put it all in perspective. I said everything. Why did they boo the establishment? Because the establishment was complicit in the cover-up. No matter what, it was complicit with the cover-up of 97 deaths. Think about that. And we were blamed. We were blamed. And you had TV cameras there. I never seen anyone urinating on the police. I never seen any of our lads pickpocketing the dead. Think about
that. Was the worst. That was the worst bit, saying that they pickpocketed the dead bodies. I mean, yeah, you just got to do that. If like somebody you know's just been crushed to death next to you, you're gonna like take their wallet out their pockets, aren't you?
Well, this is and it's just horrible. It's just horrible, and it's
not even
always
that inventive, is it? Like, it's a really old slur, isn't it? Like, about Scousers, you know what I mean? You're all thieves. It's like, shut up, will you? That's the best.
Do you know what though? Do you know what, Lee and Jay Kismet there? I've never sang "You Never Walk Alone" since then. Do you know why? It chokes me. I mean, I fill up because I'm not singing "You Never Walk Alone." You know, when I hear it, I'm looking on the pitch. It's like the Barca game. I couldn't sing that simply because in before my eyes was the 97.
Yeah.
That's what it is, you know.
There was a lad from round the corner here, Frank. He died. I remember him from school, and his funeral was on the telly. It was quite well seen on the telly because it's close to Crosby. It's just as you get out of Seaforth towards Waterloo, and he was buried. It's just on the main road there, and you when you see the footage now, I can see people I know. You know what I mean? At the funeral, I didn't know the lad to talk to, and remember him from school, but I didn't. He was older than me, a couple of years older. But you know, that's how it happened, wasn't it? Everybody probably knew someone, like vaguely at least, didn't they? Or they knew someone.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Because 97 deaths is it's a massive.
It's a hell of a lot. It's a hell of a lot, isn't it? 97.
Of course it is. And yet it was covered up. And me, I took it personally. I got the blame for murdering our own.
Yeah.
That's the way I took it. And I got the blame for pickpocketing the lads who were lying. You know, dead, that's what I'm saying. They were lying there dead. And the girls as well.
That was a repugnant lie, that one, wasn't it? That was absolutely repugnant.
But they've never, ever, 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 ever apologised for it. They should have come out, that paper, that Murdoch, Kelvin Mackenzie, what horrible people they are. They should have come out with, sorry. here is the truth. Front page, everything would have been all right, but it wasn't. They never did it. And that's the unfortunate thing.
He's a horrible spicer, isn't he? That Kelvin Mackenzie.
Oh, he still believes it, you know. Yeah. But you know what got me as well? I'll tell you this for nothing. When Clough came out and said, yeah, that was the Duncan Yarbs, when he said that. And I thought, and his son was playing for us at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, you prat. The thing is, as well, go to Shankly Hotel. I went in. I'll never go into it again, to be honest, because when I walked in, there's a picture of Clough. And I seen Shankly's great grandson. And I said, what's that fella doing up there? And he said, who? I said, him. Clough. What's he doing hanging up there? And he said, he liked me granddad. He said nice things about your granddad. I said, he didn't say anything nice about me. He called me a drunken yob. And I was to blame for the 97, it was 96 then, the 96 death. Is that a nice thing to say about Liverpool supporters? Because he said a couple of nice things. I say loving things about your great-great-granddad. Me. And so do every other Liverpool football supporter. But you've got him hanging up there. I don't know whether he's being taken down or not. But I won't go in. I just want to be walking in and seeing his face.
If I remember rightly, I remember Clough saying Liverpool people killed Liverpool people. That was the way he said it, that I remember. I don't know if he said extra stuff, but that's the way he put it in words.
Of course. He said drunken yarbs. You know, that's what he said. Drunken yarbs. Anyway,
funny thing was, Brian Clough was on the source a lot himself at that time, wasn't he? In the early 90s.
Yeah, he was always giving it that. That's what he was like.
That's probably why he said it. He was probably a bit drunk when he said it. Like, he's probably still annoyed, like that. You know, Nottingham Forest had slipped that badly.
Well, funny enough, Sahil, this lad Sahil, Lisa, thank you, Lisa. Hope you feel better soon. Thank you, Lisa. Love you for that. Thank you so much. Philip Bidswell, hope you get better soon, Frank. Thank you, Phil. And this lad says, Simon Jordan, that's Sahil Cook. I can't pronounce that word name. Simon Jordan is the same. He has an agenda against LFC. Yes, he has. Lee and Jay Kismet, I'll see you next week. Is that okay?
Yes, I'll make sounds.
I just want to say a big, God, blimey, see, even if I lift my arm, it kills me. Anyway, I just want to say a big thank you to all you out there, all you wonderful people with all your comments. Sorry I didn't get through them all. Got to thank the wonderful, I think he's brilliant, and it's Jamie Phillips. What a lad he is. And get onto his channel as well. Absolutely brilliant. Love
it's one of the best LFC channels by a long stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
It's dead like laid back and that, you know what I mean? It's a good chat, isn't it, Jamie?
I love him. I was watching him yesterday.
I heard about. I haven't watched it yet, but I am going to watch it, like, because I want to see him go off on one about it. Like, that's just the passion of football, and if Frank, when you get decisions like that, and then you get rival fans like that, you can't help coming out and saying, can you?
No, you certainly can't.
Tell Ola it's Carlson, Carlson.
I'll message him, Carlson.
So it's like Carson, but with an L put in it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'll see you. I'll get you added as well. And Jay Kismet, if he's on it, I'll get him added also. And it's just for me, once again, to say thank you to all you lovely people out there, all you wonderful supporters of Liverpool Football Club. Thank you so much. See you all next Tuesday. Back to normal. Lee, mille grazie, as the Italians say. Thank you so much. Thank you. And that's Jake Ismet. Thank you so much, my friends. Brilliant. And Keith Taylor as well. I've got to mention him. I'm awfully sorry, Keith, not to mention you in the last 10. But anyway, it's good, just a good night from me. See you all next week. And I'll just see you. Thank you so much. Thank you.